Electra series.
In this series, we're going to share with you gear based on and inspired by the Electra distortion circuit.
Join us on this journey where we get the most tone out of the least circuit. Today we're looking at the Astro Tone from Analog Man, and the Beard's going to tell you why we're looking at this particular pedal.
Yeah, I'm actually tired of always having to do that. So
you don't want me to do it.
I'm calling in a pinch hitter for today to explain to you why we would put this in the It's Electra series.
That's why I think this is so cool, because it's 76. The DoD 250's out. Distortion Plus are out. Those are identical, by the way, literally, like they're almost identical. The Gaia-Tone Zoom box is out, almost identical. You saw the episode. This though goes, no, we're going to stick with the transistor thing. It's still cool. We're going to do the hard clipping that they're doing with the op amps. And I think I could be wrong, and I haven't done my research, but everything I'm immersed in, I think this is the second hard clipping circuit using a transistor ever. The first would be the 66 Astro Tone Fuzz, which is also called the Sam Ash Fuzz. It looks like this. I mean, that's kind of cool. Like this circuit is a couple transistor stages and 2 diodes. This might be fairly stated the first distortion pedal ever made. You could say that. So this kind of, it's more similar to this than a Distortion Plus, but it shares, they're all kind of a family of hard clippers.
Well, I guess if you're going to take a moment off, you picked a good substitute.
Right. So we did a bunch of interviews for the premiere. That was a clip from Josh that wasn't included in the premiere. And hopefully you understand why we put this pedal in, right? Because this really, in that lineage of the Electra circuit, the Electra distortion circuit, if you will, this, I think, played a big role in that. Really interesting pedal. Analog Man had an original 1966 chips, the Fairchild silicon chips that this pedal uses. Made a whole bunch with those. When he ran out of those, he found some from 1978. We can open this up.
Shocker.
Right. Has the 1978 chip in it. So silicone, 2 transistors, 2 hard clippers, 2 diodes at the end. Very similar to the Electra distortion circuit. 1 transistor with those same kind of hard clippers. Analog Man, when he made it, he took it, played it with his band, decided he didn't really like it. He thought the pedal sounded great with the band. He didn't like it. I think it was missing maybe some bass response. Went back, They kind of added some bass in and tweaked that tone knob to make it a little more usable, kind of at unity volumes and with a smaller amp. Mm-hmm. You know, because it basically was, if you had it like into a Marshall cranked, it sounded really good.
Push in an amp that's already driven.
But they wanted to bring it down and be able to use it with something like we're using here. Mm-hmm. Which is a great segue into what are we using here?
The Tyler JT22. Mm-hmm. And I'm using the Beard 60th Anniversary Strat. I'm going to use middle pickup for now, and it's like this.
So I think, we don't want to spend too much time.
You've heard that before, but believe us.
Maybe if you play around a little bit, we'll move some knobs. I think we start with the tone knob, because the tone knob really has a big effect on it. Start with the tone knob, get it all the way down, get it all the way back up, and then maybe play with the volume and the fuzz a little bit. But instead of trying to run each knob individually, we want to give you really kind of a flavor of what the pedal can do, more than like every little setting.
And I'm just going to run the volume wide open on the guitar. Yeah. We'll get into some nuances when we switch over.
Great.
All right.
Give some single note stuff with the tone all the way down, and then I'll roll the tone up all to the middle and then all the way up, just like a little single note phrase real quick.
All right. A totally different pedal.
Yeah. I like it. I like it in all the spots, but it's like a totally different pedal. One of the things that we found, or maybe I found, that I really like about it is how responsive it is to a volume knob on your guitar.
Right.
And just to kind of demonstrate that real quick. So I gotta
push from our Morley box over there.
Yes, we have to hit the Morley A-B box. So if I take the PRS, and we'll leave it fuzz all the way up, tone kind of in the middle, and I roll the volume way back and then roll it up, I think you'll hear why we like that, or why I like that anyway.
Yeah, that little noise. It's super glassy. I mean, it's really nice.
I mean, it would be... It's funny because one of the things I really like about the electric distortion pedals in the series is kind of that. And it acts that same kind of way where you roll it back and things get really kind of chimey and bright. And they clean up a lot, but it has that like almost chiminess to it.
I agree.
Even on the single note stuff, right? So if we do it... Not playing real well, but at least trying to show you that pay attention.
There's
to
a
the
clip.
volume.
There's a clip that shows probably a little bit better.
But I really really dig it for that.
Yeah,
I like it with it all the way up. You get that. It's not super fuzzy. It's not super like. It's funny that this is a 1960. Basically, this is a 1966 fuzz pedal, right? But it doesn't kind of. How do I say that? Like fall into the same. Maybe category of most of the fuzz pedals I think of from like the 60s.
right.
It's kind of its own thing. And impossible to find. Like an original Astrotone, original Sam Ash fuzz. Impossible to find. Analog Man, though.
He knows what's up.
And you know how easy his pedals are to get. I mean, there's no 3-year waiting list for this one. So, what else? Anything else?
I don't know. I like it. I intended to play with it a little more wide open, and at some point in this video, we have clips of both of us playing. You tended to work the volume knob a little bit. I tended to leave it wide open and try to move through different pickups. Overplayed. It's really cool. Like I didn't know what to expect, and honestly, personal opinion, if it weren't for this knob, I probably wouldn't like it as much. Honestly, because when it's all the way to the right, which may be a little bit more like the original pedal, not as much. Maybe in a band context, that's why he did that. But either way, like when you dial that back and it gets a little fuller, a little warmer, I really like it there.
Well, and all the way to the right would be more the original pedal.
Right. And I didn't like the original pedal as much. I like what Analog Man did here.
Imagine that.
Right.
Imagine liking something Analog Man did. No, I think same thing. When I first plugged it in, I mean, it took me a while to like figure. I plugged it in thinking fuzz. I'm thinking like big muff, whatever, some kind of big woolly. And once I got that out of my head and was like, okay, well, let's stop. Let's try trying to make it sound like something that's in my head that's not what it's supposed to do, and let's just listen to what it's supposed to do. I really like it. I really like it a lot. And we spent a lot of time tonight kind of tweaking, playing with the pedal, seeing how it reacts. So one thing we haven't done is maybe run it into another pedal. Maybe we can come back at some time and use it to boost something else. But
right, you did your tone stacking with your volume knob. Your gain stages, I mean, yeah.
Is that it? That's it?
I think that's it.
With that, we always take a moment just to thank everybody that's subscribing, clicking the notification bell, like button, comments. Anytime you interact with the show, it really helps us out. We appreciate it because that's how we keep bringing you cool stuff, and we really enjoy doing that. So with that...
I'm PJ on behalf of the Beard, reminding no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear. Especially when it says this on it right here.